I've become convinced that half the British economy now consists of companies quietly taking £8.99 from your bank account and hoping you're too tired to notice. Not enough to panic you, just enough to make you stare at your banking app and think, who exactly are you? Because modern Britain no longer sells you things, it rents your own life back to you. Every month, another cheerful little company quietly appears and announces it'll only be taking the price of a supermarket sandwich. Forever. One subscription isn't a problem. 2 subscriptions aren't a problem. 43 subscriptions begin to resemble a personality disorder. UK Finance Dad, making sense of Britain's money madness. Before we start, a quick disclaimer. This is not personal financial advice. If it was, I'd be charging considerably more than YouTube is currently paying me. Now let's look at today's mistake. 20 years ago, life was refreshingly simple. You bought a CD, you owned the CD. You lost the CD, the relationship ended naturally. You bought Microsoft Office once every 5 years because the old computer finally gave up and started making noises normally associated with distressed farm animals. Now everything wants a monthly commitment. Music, films, passwords, cloud storage, AI. Apparently my printer has emotional needs. I downloaded an app to control a light bulb, which already felt like society taking a slightly unexpected turn. The light bulb needed an account. Fair enough. The account needed an email. Slightly annoying. The email needed verification. Understandable. Then the verification needed 2-factor authentication, at which point I realized I'd developed a closer relationship with the light bulb than several members of my extended family. If I move house, I fully expect the bulb to ask for shared custody and alternating weekends. Behavioral economists call this friction. Companies make buying effortless and leaving feel like applying for planning permission in central London. Joining takes 1 click. Cancelling requires 12 emails, 3 passwords, proof of identity, and possibly a note from your dentist. Amazon Prime quietly changed human behaviour. It didn't just make delivery faster, it removed the tiny pause where your sensible brain asks, do I actually need this? You order 1 charging cable, and before you've finished regretting it, somebody is already outside your house holding the parcel like a military operation has just concluded successfully. Remember waiting 5 days for delivery? That used to feel completely normal. Nobody complained. Nobody started a support group. Now, if something arrives tomorrow, we're briefly convinced civilization has collapsed. I've seen people refresh parcel tracking more often than their pension statement. The subscription monster is still tiny at this point. Just a smiling little subscription card sitting quietly in the corner pretending to be harmless. It keeps introducing itself as only £8.99 a month. The gym might be Britain's largest charitable organisation. Millions of perfectly intelligent adults donate money every month to a building they occasionally wave at while driving past. Every January, Optimism arrives wearing new trainers, carrying an expensive water bottle and announcing, "This is my year." February arrives. March arrives. Suddenly, we're paying £45 a month to maintain a deeply emotional relationship with unused exercise equipment. The treadmill knows your name. You don't. The same thing happens with streaming services. We subscribe to watch one program, then accidentally become long-term investors in the company.
Remember when television had 4 channels? They were mostly rubbish, but at least you knew where Doctor Who lived. Now, every program is hidden behind a different monthly payment, like some kind of digital Easter egg hunt designed entirely by accountants. The recommended course of action is not to become an accountant, unless you want to, in which case, strong cardigan energy and genuine respect from everyone else. Behavioral economists have a wonderfully boring phrase called default bias, which is a polite way of saying, once we've signed up, we're too tired to do anything about it. We'll spend 45 minutes driving across town to save 80 pence on petrol while quietly paying 3 subscriptions we forgot existed. Britain is obsessed with loyalty cards. Nectar, Clubcard, Costa, Greggs, Boots. I've now got enough points to establish a small independent nation. I bought a sausage roll last week and somehow earned coffee points, supermarket points, personalised insurance offers, and what I strongly suspect were air miles. At this rate, Greggs will eventually qualify me to captain a Boeing 737. Every shop now has an app. Every app has notifications. Every notification believes it's the single most important relationship in your life. The real cost isn't actually the money, it's the administration. Every subscription creates another password, another login, another email, and another tiny decision your brain has to make. I've got an app for parking, an app for paying for parking, an app for charging the car, and an app that tells me which parking app I should be using. Modern adulthood increasingly feels less like living and more like maintaining software. Future you was definitely going to cancel all these subscriptions. Unfortunately, Future you is currently comparing Economy Saver Plus Ultra Flex Premium against Economy Saver Plus Ultra Flex Premium Extra and quietly losing the will to live. The subscription monster isn't tiny anymore. It's quietly grown into a cheerful 6-foot-tall creature stitched together from streaming logos, loyalty cards, app icons, and direct debit receipts. Every face smiles and says exactly the same thing. It's only £8.99 a month. I recently tried cancelling a subscription. The website asked if I was absolutely sure, then offered 50% off, then 3 free months, then a family plan. By the end, I wasn't cancelling Netflix, I was negotiating with it. This isn't an accident. Companies know it's easier to keep a customer than find a new one. Joining takes 1 click. Leaving requires an expedition sponsored by paperwork. The good news is you don't need to cancel everything. Life should still be enjoyable. Spotify isn't ruining your retirement. 3 forgotten subscriptions quietly might be. Here's the first thing I do this weekend. Make a cup of tea, open your banking app, and interview every direct debit like you're recruiting for a very boring job. Ask 3 questions. Do I actually use this? Would I buy it again today? And if it quietly doubled in price, would I even notice? If the answers are no, thank it politely for its service and show it the door. Second, give yourself a subscription budget. £50, £75, £100, whatever suits your life. When something new comes in, something old goes out. Third, use technology against itself. Every free trial gets a calendar reminder 6 days later. Future you is optimistic. Calendar you is much more reliable. Personal finance isn't usually about finding one genius investment. It's mostly about being slightly less daft than average for a surprisingly long period of time. Financial progress is usually just lots of sensible decisions quietly repeated. You don't need to be the kind of person who would describe a weekend as tax efficient. Although, if that's already you, excellent cardigan energy and genuine respect from the rest of us. You don't need to cancel everything. Keep the things that genuinely save you time, bring you joy, or make your life easier. The goal isn't owning nothing, it's noticing what quietly owns you. Be slightly more curious than average, slightly less daft than average. Every app believes it's the single most important relationship in your life. It isn't. The subscription monster only gets fed if you keep inviting it round for tea. Time to put him on a regime of financial Ozempic. I've been UK Finance Dad, making sense of Britain's money madness. See you next time.